Hi, I'm Bally.
I'm Mark.
We're here at the Smash Factory. This is our custom fitting studio. We're in London, Ontario, Canada. We are going to continue our driver fitting series today.
Yes, so we fit Bally a couple months ago into the Rogue ST Callaway Triple Diamond LS with one of the stock shafts that's available from Callaway Custom.
I hit bombs with it when we did that fitting too.
You did. And honestly, and it's funny too, because you've gained a little bit of speed since then as well. So it's not like this thing doesn't work for you. That's key too.
Most people get fit in the over the summer.
Yeah.
I get fatter.
Okay, good. Yeah, eat more and do less.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where we're gonna retest this with a custom shaft and see if there's a big difference. Mm-hmm. We know that Matt's feels change every once in a while, so it's nice to have something refreshed in his hands.
Yeah. So we can just keep note by changing shafts. It'll also change swing weights, so we may change weights in the head or play with hot melt or all sorts of cool stuff. So
yeah.
Let's get to smacking some balls.
Absolutely.
I gotta get warm.
Stay tuned.
All right.
We gotta take the weight out of this because it's heavy with this thing in it too. Like it is the 8.5.
Oh my God!
I don't know
with
why.
the 2 grammer in it?
No, I didn't change it yet. I just left it and then thought, oh, what it'll be. But this thing is very low balance point, so I figured it was going to be heavy. But
so if this is TZ5?
5, yeah.
Okay.
So the thing is too is like these drivers are nice that we can take the weight out and change that stuff.
Yeah, they're very good for club builders.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice little touch because that's 8 grams. So
that was a big boy weight.
Yeah, so no wonder.
See, if you put a 2 in, that'll take
3 points off at least. You'd be D5 or so, which is still heavy, but it's manageable.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's okay. Yeah.
And again, it's pretty close to what was in it before. So this is honestly like. This thing's hopefully gonna feel like even flow, right? It's very even feeling that shaft. This thing, it's tip stiff, right? So you're gonna feel the TZ5 ideally not wanna kick a whole lot. And we'll see. So this is 65 M5 and this is now D5. So say that 5 times fast.
TZ65, TZ5, 65 M5, D5.
All right, let's see it. Okay, well that went right.
Yeah, I kind of looped it. I got stuck back there. Let me try that again.
Not bad though. Ball speed's still fairly decent for an open facer.
Yeah, I mean, I caught it fairly square. The swing was just kind of all over the place. Let me just.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not moving awesome. I'm fighting my body a little bit.
Don't worry, I forgive you.
All right.
The people at home forgive you as well.
Okay.
You're one take Bally last week, so there you go.
That's pounded.
That was nice.
Holy mother, that's exactly what I want to do every single time.
That's really good. So, and see, to me, like, I actually prefer when you spin it a fraction more, right? So like,
yeah, because my problem is the ball falls out of the sky, right?
That's the thing. I've played golf with you. You don't play bad golf when you spin it at 2,800. Yeah. You play bad golf when you spin it at 5,000 or 4,000. Yeah, and then I hit it 210 and don't carry the bunker I'm trying to fly. Yeah, that's the thing. Right?
All right, let me give you another one of those.
Again, that was nice, especially with your level attack angle. Like your spin rate, your optimal is going to be 2,500 plus.
A little higher.
Right? Yeah, it can't be 1,900. That's too low for anybody, especially you. Okay, so there's one that might cross center.
Yeah, I caught it a little inside.
Okay, so let's divulge, because I think this is where I'm curious to see where that strike location was.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a little heely. So
yeah, high heel.
Yeah, so that's where, again, for everyone at home, TrackMan struggles at 114 miles an hour, 13 miles an hour with a heel strike. This is where, if you have a good fitter and he uses TrackMan, make sure you kind of question some things like that. Like, don't obviously think the machine's not correct, but there's a few things that it does assume when at certain speeds. And I think like there's one where I've seen this a million times. We know that in theory that would gear a little bit, so you would have got a little bit more spin than you.
Yeah, it wouldn't have moved that far left.
No, but it's possible, but it's highly unlikely. So
let me give you one more of these.
Yeah, this isn't solid.
This isn't awful.
No.
Let me unload here and give you a fast one.
Okay.
Yeah, I just kind of pulled it again.
Yeah,
That's
just
left of left.
Yeah, so body just slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, part of that is it is a little on the heavy side for me, so
heavy.
I feel like I got to kind of jump to get it moving. But
Yeah, and I mean like those two, like 111, 112, then 113, 113.
and then I got the
there.
face shut when I got a little.
Yeah. So I mean, again,
Excited.
looking at the dispersion, it's not ideal, but I
Okay.
think that's where
Probably no love connection there.
Not, I mean, decent, right? Like it wasn't the end of the world. I think again, that's where if you told me right now and said, Mark, I really, really, really like the way this feels, there's some things that we could do.
Sure,
right?
you'd modify the head and make
a little
it-
bit of, exactly, like especially knowing that this is going to be a lower balance point head, getting something in that's lighter
Yeah.
for you specifically would allow us to be able to move some weight, put some
Got
hot
it.
melt in the toe, maybe put something with a little bit of larger right hand just to eliminate that left side
Yeah,
or
okay.
mitigate it at least, right? So there's things that could be done with that. So I think like definitely still a potential viable option. But now I want you to go to this guy here.
The big boy.
So this is where this is gonna feel stout. So,
Okay.
and again, not saying that you're gonna love this, but you haven't hit it, and I think it'd be curious.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see what your feels are. So I'm just gonna throw a standard grip on here, double check swing weight.
Oh,
and
is
then
it massive on there?
It's just, yeah, it was the
Because
one
normally it's big dudes that are hitting that
It
thing
is,
because
yeah.
they're fast. And,
6'8".
yeah, I'm not 6'8".
No, but let's see. So give me one sec here.
I'm 5'8".
Yeah.
Okay.
That's different, eh?
Yeah, I need a few swings to feel
no,
where
for
that
sure.
thing kicks because
For
it
sure.
is not the same.
Not the same at all. Okay, so there's a good example too for the folks at home. Bally towed that for sure.
Oh
And
my God, yeah.
There's
I almost
a great
missed the
gearing
ball.
effect. Yeah. So there's one that like definitely TrackMan caught that gearing effect because that ball started 45 feet right of the center of the line and curved way left with an open face. Like that's always cool to see, right? Face 1.6 degrees open, ball hit the line because of where he hit it on the face. So
Yeah.
these drivers are trying to help you for
Yeah,
sure.
it's fast all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Matt.
It's interesting. It's just high on the face.
Yeah, I'm a little quick. You know what it is?
Yeah.
I know it's stiff, and for
So
some
you're
reason I'm
trying to-
jumping at it. I
Yeah.
just gotta
Yeah, and the thing is,
settle down. I'm excited here. I'm on video.
we got everybody watching.
All right, let me.
I mean, again, like not great numbers, but those two are playable. They're not.
That's
great
kind of the funny
strikes,
thing where it's
but
like, okay, they haven't
yeah,
they
it
haven't
just,
ruined my day.
To me, like that goes away eventually, right? So the best way to hit it straight is hit in the center of the face. Okay,
So there's the low hook.
It's yeah, and it's funny because that was definitely on the heel. So you're, no, okay, interesting. So just low, as low as you can hit it. But interesting because like obviously it's making you do some funky things.
It's not
Like,
for me. I want it to
you're
be,
swinging,
but it's not.
you never hit 5.5 up on it.
Okay.
Like your miss is not low on the face like
That's
that.
3 horrendous
And
swings.
I think I know why. Well, you missed the first 2 high on the face or high on the toe.
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
you made an adjustment, and I think like that's where it's exactly what we don't want people to do, right? Is make that adjustment.
Yeah, I was
166.6 ball speed. You carried at 166.8, so not ideal.
nice.
Not ideal.
That's not the best efficiency.
And again, yeah, that's where like again. So that there. I look at TZ5 and go much better because
Sure,
you're hitting
at
the
least
center of
there's
the
something
face.
to work with, yeah.
That's the thing, right? Like
Yeah, so even though I really wanted that shaft to work because it looks really cool, it was bad news.
Yeah.
It was no bueno.
the goal for me, for you, is to make sure that you time something the best,
Yeah.
and then figure out your shape, right? Because I think like if you hit the center of the face, and I tell people a lot in fittings, is it's much easier to figure out where it's going to go.
Sure.
Right? It's so much.
predictable is way better.
It's so much easier when you know that, oh, it towed and it went left. Well, yeah, you towed it, right? So, but if you're hitting the center of the face and it's going left, and we know there's
Then there's
some
something else to
things-
build into it, right?
Exactly. So,
Okay.
okay. So this is one that you've hit. This is going to feel a heck of a lot lighter, right? So TZ6.
Oh yeah, wow.
65 CB, so counterbalance. So this is where, again, with most of the manufacturers going to heavy heads, Acra has kind of put this out because of it, right? So something that has a little bit of counterbalance, counterweighting up towards the grip and towards the handle that eliminates kind of some of the swing weight. So we know this driver is fairly heavy, and this kind of helps balance that weight out. And to be fair, in past, you have been fairly good with lighter stuff, lighter swing weight stuff. So that's where potentially this does work for us. So
yeah.
TZ665 M5 CB. All right.
It's a lot of letters. All right.
There's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, so again, just hit one or two here. I'm gonna make a couple of modifications, I think, to this, because a few things I want to try, but let's try that out.
Again, I necked it.
Neck heel,
like
yeah.
I'm really struggling the way I'm moving.
Yeah.
That was hit as bad as I could, and it somewhat got up in the air, but
Yeah.
man, my body is just struggling today. So this would kind of be one of those lessons at home.
For sure.
Sometimes fittings, you're going to show up and you're not going to feel great.
Absolutely. No, and you know what? And I look at it and I think most people come in and don't hit it perfect. Right?
Yeah.
Like I mean, it takes me, I do it once a year that I hit it really good, right? So the chances that it falls on the day I get fit are pretty rare. So it's nice to see the bad as well. Good swing.
A little better.
Yeah, it's just gonna hang, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would love it to be out there than low left, that's for sure.
Okay, so give me one more with that, but I'm gonna make one little tweak here before you do. Okay. I'm just gonna add a little bit of weight.
You want it now?
Yeah, I'm just gonna add a little bit of weight. I just think after swinging all those heavy
it is
things,
definitely light.
Yeah, it's just not gonna.
I don't like. It doesn't feel like it's light and just like flipping around or anything.
Yeah.
But.
Well, I think too, because like I mean, the shaft is still it's not nearly as stiff, the tip section. That's where this potentially might not be necessary, but a little bit of a different setup. So try that for me. So we just added 6 grams of weight to the head is essentially what we did there. So just beef up the swing weight a bit because because it was fairly light.
So a little heavier should help keep the club behind me a bit too.
Ideally, right? I mean, I think in theory it should give it a little bit more oomph as well. And the weight's a little bit more forward, so hopefully that little cut stays a cut, but doesn't spin as much. That was pretty.
Yeah, that's
low.
I didn't quite catch it flush.
Yeah.
But it felt a little bit more solid. Again, I didn't swing it quite as fast, but if you look at efficiency.
I was gonna say, you made up for it in ball speed.
Yeah,
right? So,
which is nice because when you're efficient, then it's nice to know, okay, if I amp up the speed, it's going to go further.
It takes care of a lot of those things.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
That's very true. Okay, give me one more with that guy. I think that's better than where it was.
That's about as good as I can hit one.
That's what you did earlier. Yeah. So it is turning a fraction left, right? But this is where like your strike location is very good.
Yeah.
Right. So both of those were very much on the button.
So this is one where that's a 2 grammer in the sole?
It's an 8 now.
Or an 8.
8, yeah.
So we could put a 2 in there, hot melt something back toe, get the weight up, and then help me keep the toe.
And the thing is too is the more weight we have towards the front of that face, the lower or the more forward is going to bring that CG, right? So that's also going to make it not turn over as much, right? So more back is going to give you a little bit more draw, a little bit more turnover. So the more we can just pull that weight forwards for you.
So we would actually hot melt.
It would almost be like
low toe or face? Yeah,
no, I would still say towards the toe side, but I think like probably like a centimeter north of that weight port where it is. Just kind of start there and see. Okay. But pretty darn good numbers there.
Yeah, so. It feels really good. This is the best feeling one.
Good.
For sure.
Okay. I mean, again, that's where there's still some modifications to be done potentially, but I do like the way you're striking that and some of the numbers that we're getting. So. I like it.
That felt pretty solid.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Okay.
And that's like just right away. See, this is where like, okay, in a fitting, that's what I care about. He just went back to it and you hit it.
Pumped it.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. So like.
Not quite as fast. Again, I'm a little tender, but.
That's okay. But I look at it and I think like, you're not going to hit a drive much better than you just hit that one.
Okay, let me give you a full rip here.
Yeah, like that was dead perfect for those numbers. So, I mean. You made the optimizer happy, 281 in the air. Yeah, it's perfect. So, again, that's where we saw with a couple of other ones, like, oh yeah, you can make it work if you make
I don't want to make it work. I'm not good enough. No, I just need it to work.
You need it to work, right? So you want to just kind of set up and.
We've talked about that before, but the lower the handicap, generally the better the player is at making the club work, just figuring out a feel.
Yeah.
Which a lot of higher handicappers say to us, like, hey, like, am I good enough to get fit? And it's like,
you're the person that should be fit. Yeah,
you can't feel what your gear does to work for you, to make it work, right?
Yeah.
You need it to work for you.
Completely agree.
All right. Little low on the face. I was just trying to add some speed. I missed it, but
it's okay. A little bottom groovy.
It's not wild, but it's left.
Fast, though. But see, again, there's where we're like, it's as bad as you're going to hit it. So in 290, right? 250 carry. But I do think...
Is this the lighter head right now?
No, it's a heavier one, right?
Okay.
So with the CB in there, I put the weight back in.
Got it.
So that's where we could always cut that in half or take 4 or 5 grams off that and then put some weight in it. So yeah, I would agree. And I think this is where like we can show you kind of what we do in the shop with most players. And I think like...
Take a tour with Matt and we'll...
Let's do it.
By the way, not me, Matt. Matt behind the camera.
Yeah, we got double mats.
Yeah.
2 mats and a mark. TZ5, 65.
Yeah, so you guys are going to get to see us hot melt a driver and not because I'm trying to cheat in a long drive contest. And
yeah, for good reasons in this case. Yeah, so.
Let's do it.
Okay, meet you in the shop. Okay, so we've got Matt's driver in here. We're going to do some hot melting. So in my mind, I think we're gonna probably bring this to about D2 or so. So we're gonna pop the, I'll show you guys how I do this. So there's a bunch of different drivers that have different places where you can put the glue. Callaway makes it really simple. You take out this kind of center weight here, put that down there, and then there's that nice little port in here, right? So that allows us to kind of get the nozzle in here, move it around a little bit. Some have a weight port. I've probably showed you that a couple times. Ping has one that you remove with a screw and then you can get in there the same way. Some of them have a little plastic cap and then you just have to recap it once you've done that. So I'm gonna bring you over to the hot melt machine and we're gonna show you, we're gonna basically bring this up to about D2. So we've got a fair amount of weight to play with here. So we're probably gonna throw about 5 or 6 grams of hot melt into here, and then figure out where we are and kind of finalize things. So, sorry, C6.1. Okay, so let me bring this over here. It smells like a hot glue gun, which is basically what it is. Okay, so. So on our gun, essentially one full pull of this lever is about 5 grams. So that allows us to get a pretty good idea of what's going in here and where. So we're gonna try and keep this, I don't want it too high on the crown here. I wanna keep it fairly low in the toe, just to make sure we keep those launch mechanics up. So I'm gonna try and put most of the glue kind of in this section here, just north of where the weight port is. So let's see if we can kind of sneak a little bit in there. All about angles when it comes to this stuff. So because it's so hot as well, you can feel where it is through the driver head. So that's always a nice little check as well, as where does that weight feel like, and you can feel it, well, through the camera, you'll feel it through the camera, but it's very hot right here in the toe, and that's kind of exactly where I wanted it. So I'm gonna kind of make sure that it doesn't run. You never know, it doesn't look like it's not viscous enough to kind of run, but you can't see in there, right? So you want to make sure that it's kind of adjusted or positioned in the way that where you want that glue to kind of to finalize, right? So, okay, nice and warm in there. So we're just going to check the swing weight here again to see where we are. So we were C6.1 before, so 5 grams should add about 2.5 points here, about 3 points, so that's where we are at C9.1. So I'm going to throw the weight back in here and we'll double check our swing weights again. Always easy to add weight, really hard to take it away, right? That's a big thing. So especially if you're doing this with a custom driver of your own, do it a little bit, hit it again, try it again, kind of go from there, right? So right now we're at D4.3, so we still have some room to play with. And luckily enough, this isn't the 2 gram weight in there. That's still got some weight to kind of take away if we still need to add a little bit more. So we're in a pretty good spot here. We're gonna test this again, let this dry, have Bally test it again, and then we'll see kind of the differences and we'll take it from there. So see you guys in a moment. Back to it. So hot melt is dry, still hot.
Yeah, it's still warm.
Still hot off the presses here.
It's not bad.
So TZ6, 65, M5, CB. So again, this is where if you didn't have the counterbalance version of this, not much you can do with swing weight.
Yeah. Counterbalance brings the weight up here, which allows us to add more weight here without
Absolutely.
it feeling like a sledgehammer.
Yeah, so the overall weight definitely goes up, right? So that's one thing that people need to realize too. We just added 5-6 grams of weight to this entire head, so it potentially could slow things down. There's other things that could happen. So try this baby out for me. That was nice.
Sounds so much better.
Does sound good. That's gonna just fall left.
Okay, that's okay. I can live with that.
It's the first one you've had perfect efficiency.
Yeah.
So it's funny. So out of the gates again, we've hot melted things for 10-15 minutes. Matt took a little break, and first swing out of the gates, 1.5 efficiency. So that's why, to me, that shaft, he's timing it well. He's finding the center of the face.
Yeah.
His direction is part of it, and it's pretty darn good there.
Yeah.
But it's also a lot easier to figure out a direction when you're doing what he just did, right? So that was very, very good start.
Generally, I don't want to turn it over. I towed that one a hair, but it came off hot.
Yeah, and I think for the most part too is you know that you don't want to turn it over. Do you turn it over sometimes? Yes, right?
Yeah.
So
I can be faster if I draw it.
For sure, for sure. So. That was nice. That was the highest I've seen.
This is so much better.
It's so much better, eh? I've never seen you launch it that high. Okay, so again, this is for the folks at home. 1.5 efficiency again. This driver is very hot, don't get me wrong, but we didn't see that one time in all of the shots that Bally hit before. So you had some good ball speeds, you had some good maintaining of the ball speed when you did hit it on the toe, but that was 2 in a row that you had perfect efficiency. And I think, like, to me, that's where your path numbers are dictating a bit of a draw, but it's definitely holding the face open.
Yeah,
like,
my back's a little stiff, so I'm pathing it more right.
Yeah, right, and that's where I think
hitting the piss out of it though.
You sure are. And
awesome.
I think the thing is too, right, is Matt's a very high level golfer. He can get, he's picky with his shot shapes, right? So I mean, trust me, if I hit that, I'm happy, right? And I think
if Mark hits that, it also goes 45 yards further.
Maybe not that far, but again, that's a shape that I think a lot of people kind of go for, and obviously it's still drawing a fraction with the weight in the toe, but it's not hooking, right? So
okay, let me give you the fast one.
Yeah, and I think anybody can make anything hook, so we'll see if Matt can maintain that face angle here. Nice. Little grunt after 170. Give him 170.
I was trying to get over 170.
169.9. Again, though, there's one that he went added harder, 149 efficiency. So if anything, what you've gained is a little bit of consistency with ball speeds there, right?
Yeah.
Just a little bit more mass in the face.
I was swinging as fast as I could there, so I didn't quite button it.
Yeah.
Still found the fairway. I mean, it turned, but...
And 170 ball speed, right? So like I look at that, okay, so just as a comparison, right? Like where did we start from, right? We had TZ5, pretty good.
Everywhere,
wow, right? Look at those dispersions, right? Significantly better.
That other one was just dog shit.
Yeah, right? And I think like there's kind of what we saw with the little modifications. And this is where I think if you're someone at home too, that you love the way a shaft feels, there's other things that you can do. It's in this situation, it's not like you can put lipstick on a pig and just go, oh yeah, it'll work. It has to be a good, no, I think the club's the pig. But I think that's where you have something that's fairly good, you can fine tune it and make it ideally a little bit better or perfect for you, right? So I think that's where it's important to know that there's always little things that you can do if you have a build shop capable like we are. And I think this is where most tour guys are going to do exactly what we just did, right? Is hit it.
Playing this today, I can't wait.
Yeah, right. So again, that's where you just heard Matt kind of mumble under his breath is I'm going to play this today, right? Because that's what a driver fitting like that kind of inspires is confidence, right? You hit 3 shots in a row, perfect efficiency. So you can walk outside today and go, unless something completely changes, you're going to hit the center of the face.
Yeah, beauty.
Right. So, I mean, and I think with good numbers, good height, good launch for you too.
I wish you guys could hear the sound difference in hot melt.
It's amazing. Yeah, and you might be able to hear the pitch change, right? Because it's definitely different. But no, love it and very, very well done. If I was fitting you today and you're a paying customer, I'd be pretty happy with saying, hey, here's your driver.